In a mix of ER and 24, we see Noah Wyle return to hospital life in this real-time medical drama. Let's talk about Max's The Pitt. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for a new Max series called The Pitt. This is streaming the first 2 episodes right now as of this recording, but new episodes will happen weekly, and there's going to be 15 in total, as this series will cover, at least season 1, will cover a 15-hour shift at this hospital. So this is a real-time show in the vein of 24. We don't see a clock, in the corner or whatever. We don't see, split screens like they did on 24. But this is starting at 7 in the morning and going all the way through a 15-hour shift with obviously a lot of not only the same crew on board, but a lot of the same patients that we'll be sort of coming back to episode by episode. So an interesting concept to do with a medical show. We'll talk about how that helps or maybe hurts it as we do the review here in just a second. But first, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are one of my Dan Reviews It subscribers already, thank you so much for that. Love having you return. But if you're not, please consider subscribing down below. Click that notification bell too, so you get the alerts for all my new video drops. I do try to post just about every day, so there's always a lot going on here on the channel. And you can, of course, like this video or comment below too. That helps tremendously. All right, so this is The Pitt. And Noah Wyle, look, obviously he was one of the longtime members on ER. He played John Carter, and that's, really what gave him his big boost to stardom. But look, he's done a lot of things since then. He was part of The Librarians, which was a very successful show for at least 3 or 4 years. I forget what cable channel that was on, but, that was big for him. He's done a few shows along the way, but obviously, he is most associated with the medical drama ER. So why have him be the face of this show? Well, there is more than just him tying this to ER. John Wells, who co-created ER and many other things, including one of the shows I'm watching right now, The West Wing. I've been watching that for the very first time, and he didn't co-create that, I guess. That was all Aaron Sorkin, but he had a heavy hand in producing The West Wing, and John Wells knows his way around a drama, that's for sure. I'm almost done The West Wing. I think I'm in season 6, and it's still very, very good, even after Sorkin left. But ER, look, I never actually, went through and watched. It was on, obviously, all the time, but I've seen, a handful of episodes. I think I have seen the first maybe 6 or 7 in order, and then just kind of random episodes here or there. But it was, even then, it was very easy to tell what a competent and successful show it was going to be. I didn't really watch a lot of dramas growing up. The first drama I really sank my teeth into was Lost, and that was, of course, years after ER, debuted. So, catching up on some of my old dramas like The West Wing has really given me an appreciation for people like John Wells, who have been able to really tell a story. Now, he did not create this show. This was created by R. Scott Gemmell, who I'm unfamiliar with, but he did a lot with JAG and NCIS Los Angeles, 2 shows I've never watched. But John Wells is one of the executive producers. So between Wells and Noah Wyle, obviously, we've got a lot of sort of ER comparisons, so much so that the estate of Michael Crichton, I guess, is in lawsuit mode, saying that they couldn't come to terms on a reboot of ER, so Wells made this, and so, he's screwing them out of whatever. So I don't know where that's going to go, but this is obviously, ER is the gold standard of the hospital drama, right? But I think we've gotten away from some of the things that made ER such a special show. And when things like Grey's Anatomy popped up and House, and we spent a lot more time focusing on the characters themselves than the hospital and the drama within, the patients and all of that. No, it was more about the soap opera nature of the people and all of that. What I think is really interesting about this show, now, like I said, only the first 2 episodes are up, so we see from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on this show. But what I think is so interesting is it's not just, okay, here's this one patient we're going to look at, and be gone now, you're done, I'm going to move on to something else, because that's what we see when we go, week by week with these shows. But no, we see the same patients over and over again in an ongoing quest to find out, what's going on with them. How can we help you? There's an older woman in the first episode who made herself vomit to be sent into the hospital so she could warn somebody that she thinks her son, might shoot up a school or cause some harm or whatever, because she found, this notebook of his. And that is just not something that appears momentarily and we spend a couple of scenes with it. No, she returns in episode 2 and we're figuring out what we're going to do. And another case in the first episode is this little kid found his, I think it's his stepdad, his pot gummies. And so, we have to now deal with Children and Youth Services in episode 2. But all the while, we are obviously dealing with the workers as well. The doctors, the nurses, everybody involved in the hospital, including some of the new interns. And we realize early on that one of them has a very serious connection with a couple of the elder statesmen at the hospital. So, but look, all through it, Noah Wyle is, this cool, collected dude. Yes, he's got a sense of humor. He jokes a little bit throughout with both his coworkers and the patients a little bit as well, to bring some levity. He is excellent in this show. So we ask, okay, well, why is Noah Wyle returning to a hospital show? He was so successful in ER. It's because he's got this persona about him. And look, the character is written very well, too. So let's not be smart to the writers here. It's not just Noah Wyle's performance, but that is a big part of why this show, I think, is going to work. He is a grounded dude. He's not a curmudgeon like House, and he doesn't have a lot of interest in sleeping around with everybody like Grey's Anatomy and some of the other shows. He reminds me a bit of the Ryan Eggold character in New Amsterdam from a few years ago on NBC, where he just wants the hospital to function. He wants everybody to do a good job. He wants to save people, and that's why he's there. He actually talks about how he doesn't really have much of a social life. And look, maybe we'll dive a bit into that as the episodes go on. But having it be this real-time style, I think really, really works to its advantage because we can sink our teeth into these characters. And look, because it's on a streamer, yes, you're going to be able to watch every episode in order. Something like this, doesn't really work on a network unless people are willing to watch every single episode every single week. With 24, it worked well because it was before streamers and all we really had was TV, and we had VCRs and DVRs, so if we missed an episode, we could catch up. But a show like this now on a network that maybe didn't go up on a streamer or something, you'd never be able to get it. But here, we can watch it, at our leisure. Maybe you want to wait until all 15 episodes are done and watch it straight through like it's a day at the hospital. That could be an idea too. But look, so far, I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing. And everybody seems fairly likable too. Yeah, there's a couple of, jerky characters a little bit that are maybe showing their colors here. But you're going to be under a lot of pressure. You're dealing with a lot of people that are sick and need your help, and there's a lot going on. And yeah, people are going to maybe crack a little bit under that pressure. I think that's understandable. But nobody here is a dickhead. I watched House for about half a season. And I'm like, this guy sucks. Like, I don't want to spend any more time with him. Obviously that was a successful show, but yeah, like here, I feel like I can get behind everybody, and for various reasons, and there's a couple of receptionists that speak Tagalog to each other. And, are kind of going back and forth about some of the people. They're sort of the gossips of the place. And, but nobody knows what they're saying except us, the viewer. So, it's kind of funny with that. But, look, I think this could be a very, very successful show. I'm willing to say that it might be an A, but it's only the second show I've reviewed so far in 2025, Going Dutch being the other one, which was pretty good. I gave that a B+. But I'm going to leave The Pitt at this point with an A-. But like I said, depending on how the rest of this season goes, I could easily see this being one of the best shows of 2025. So for now, you can catch a couple of episodes up on Max, but they will continue weekly from here. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time. Bye.